Hey there, my name's Gary. Welcome to my video thing. So this is the third installment of What the Heck is Art? And I thought it would be a really good idea to start with a foundation of defining art and defining how I think about art. And this is the third installment. So in the first installment, we talked about what the heck is art in the sense of life and seeing the world and experiencing the world and hearing and touching and tasting, experiencing life. And how, every artist is going to have a different interpretation, and every artist is going to have a different way of seeing the world, and that way of seeing the world is going to determine the type of art that you're going to create. And I talked about how it's really important to kind of hold tensions and to see the world in almost contradictory ways, but to have faith that there is something true to all of those ways of seeing. And the second installment, I talked about the creative process and how that is a kind of dying to yourself, so that you can experience a bigger and stranger world. And so the first installment was about life and seeing and hearing and touching and tasting and experiencing life. And the second was about dying to yourself. And the third aspect, and the fourth aspect we're going to talk about today, and that is death and resurrection. So for this third aspect of art, I thought it'd be really cool if I had the sloths behind me, because sloths are cool, man. So the third aspect of art is the product. To create art, you've got to create something. You've got to make something. But this, I think, is the trickiest, the darkest part of creating art, because the way that I see the product of art is it is a kind of death, because you're killing your process, you're ending your process. That effort for you to get out of yourself and to see the world differently from other people's perspective, to empathize with other people, to try to tap into what it means to be human. That process that you're going through, that you're putting yourself through to create this art, that struggle that you are taking on, you're killing it. You're putting an end to it by putting out this product. And that particular process for that particular work of art is now over, and it is dead. So the process is a kind of dying, right? Dying to yourself, and then creating the product, creating that story or that painting or that whatever it is. That's a kind of death. So that one was pretty heavy. So that's why I wanted the sloths back there, because they make it a lot happier. You know what I'm saying? All right, what's up? So let's talk about the last aspect of art, the fourth and final aspect of art. And I call it the second life. So the third aspect of art's pretty sad, pretty depressing. The fourth aspect is like uplifting, because if your art is truly good, if it is the best art that you could make, the end of the story is not the product that you create. The end of the story is the conversation that it ignites, that it sparks. And it has a second life. And maybe it gets misunderstood, misinterpreted. But that second life is what is going to make it interesting, is what is going to make it continue to live. Art is a living, breathing thing. You know, it's not just about this artifact that you're trying to create, this product. It's about the conversation. It's about you injecting yourself into this ongoing conversation that has been going on for all of humanity since the dawn of time. People have been creating art since human beings were human beings.
We've been creating art, and you are inserting yourself into that conversation. You are saying, I have something to give. I have something to say in this conversation. And so that's what the second life is for your work of art. It's not that you're just trying to create something that people are going to be like, ooh, ah. No, it's about being a part of a conversation, and that is something to take seriously. But that second life, that resurrection, think about like how in my opinion, art is like Christ. There's this death and resurrection, but Christ is like everything. That death and resurrection formula or model, that is the universe. That is all of creation. Death and resurrection. Christ represents creation. In John 1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that Word is Christ. He's in the beginning. As soon as God speaks the word, let there be light, and form came out of nothingness, or out of the void, or out of chaos. That's Christ. Those words, that light, that organization, that order that came out of chaos, that form that came out of nothing, that's Christ. And that is art. So I would just encourage you to come up with your own understanding of art, your own definition of art. Like I said, everybody is going to have their own definition. Everybody is going to answer the question, what the heck is art, differently. And the way that you answer that question is going to determine the kind of art that you create, the kind of artist that you are. And so I would encourage you, everyone, to wrestle with that question, to wrestle with your understanding of what is art? What does it mean to make art? What makes art great? How can I make the best art that I can? So I would encourage you to take some time, sit down, and think about how you would answer the question, what the heck is art?